Hi everyone, it's Sarah here. How are you doing? I hope you're having a great day today. We are going to be doing a talk today on dissociation and dissociative identity disorder. Dissociation actually means not being fully present and grounded in your body. And we often experience this as a mild case. Like for example, you're trying to focus on something, maybe you're trying to read something and your mind keeps wandering off. That's a very mild case of dissociation, and that actually has its roots in unworthiness. But if you're going through a major traumatic situation or a whole lot of overwhelm in one go, you can use dissociation as a coping mechanism. It is a form of disconnection, you're using disconnection as a form of self-defense. And when it's used like this, you are aware of what's going on, but you're not feeling it fully. So some people might report seeing it as though it's happening to somebody else. Other people might report seeing it as though they're floating above the body. Now you are divine conscious in the body. So this is actually quite a sensible way of self-defense. But what happens afterwards is the body doesn't feel such a nice, loving, safe haven. So often we don't fully reconnect with the body. Or if we can use dissociation, sorry, the wind's getting up, as an habitual way of dealing with stress, which means we connect and then we just, every time we get overwhelmed or stressed, we just take our energies back out again. So we're constantly in and out, in and out. But there are several problems with this. The first one is that you are here to have a human experience. You are here to ground your divine energies into the earth. You're here to be fully present and grounded into the earth's energies. When you are disassociating all the time, that's not the case. When you are actually fully grounded and present in your body, it is the most amazing feeling. It's a feeling of solidity and being belonging. There's a sense of belonging with it. Some people like this feeling of floatiness and airy-fairy, but actually just know that you're actually using that as a way to not feel your experiences fully, and this often is due to fear. Another problem is that when we're in some kind of traumatic situation or overwhelm, we often go into fear and we contract our muscles. But what happens to us energetically is the opposite. We actually expand our energy field. And this is like an animal. You know, if an animal's under threat or a bird's under threat, it'll puff itself out to make itself look bigger, so it appears more frightening. It's a form of self-defense, and we actually unconsciously do that with our energy field. If we're being attacked or something like that, we actually expand our energy field in a way to appear bigger. So we are more intimidating. The trouble with this is we often leave it open, and then this actually means it is far easier to disassociate when your energy fields are wide open. And what happens if you disassociate and your energy fields are wide open, you're leaving yourself open for entities to come and join you. Now, entities are just ghosts. I don't actually believe there are dark, evil things in the world, but I do actually believe there are people that haven't passed over properly, and I term these as entities. So if you have big energy fields and you're not actually in your body fully, there's a nice gap there for an entity to come and join you. So it does make a lot more sense for you to stay fully present in your body. Sometimes we can use this openness as a form of self-punishment or unforgiveness. We don't forgive ourselves, we don't love ourselves, so we say, okay, we'll just leave our body open for things to come in and out. Now, on a sideline for this, in a normal situation, everything that we perceive, that is, we see, we hear, we taste, etc., we process and then we store away in a nice, neat filing system in our subconscious mind. So that means we have it there as data and we can go back and examine it. Our mind is constantly looking through our data just to see if anything we are experiencing is going to put us in danger. So it's like a memory bank. But if you are in a major traumatic situation, a major case of overwhelm, your mind and your brain are saying, okay, fight and flight. We need to get you out of here. There's danger. So what happens in this situation is you can't file your data away neatly because A, you haven't got time, B, it's too overwhelming, there's probably too much of it, and your brain and your mind just aren't in the mode to do this. So what happens is that you file that information away in chunks. It doesn't get filed away neatly in one place. It gets fragmented and it files a bit here and a bit there. Now this was a protective thing at the time. Your brain and your mind didn't actually have a choice. But what that actually means is when you are trying to recall a situation, you can't recall it properly because the information isn't there for you to do it, to recall it. There's a bit here and there's a bit there. So it might be you can just remember little parts of the event, which makes it very difficult if you needed to speak to a therapist or something. You can't actually get into the feelings, you can't actually remember it. And it can be sometimes years later when there's a smell or a certain sound and actually unlocks the door and those memories come back in and you are able to access them and process it then. So another form of dissociation is called DID, Dissociative Identity Disorder. Now this used to be called multiple personality disorder. But again, this is actually a form of a coping mechanism, and it is really common if you undergo some kind of childhood trauma, some kind of childhood abuse, whether it's physical, emotional, neglect, abandonment, sexual, perfectionism, or some kind of overwhelming trauma. Maybe a parent died, or a very close pet died, or a sibling died, or something like that. Some kind of huge trauma. It often becomes a coping mechanism. And what happens during this time is an actual bit of the personality splits and it becomes fragmented. And what happens is afterwards you start to hear different voices. So some of these voices you're actually going to hear in your head, and these are different to the voices that you normally, your one ego voice you normally hear, or your thinking voice. These are actually different sounding voices. So some might be coming from your head, some might be coming from different parts of your body, some might actually feel as though they're above your head or onto your side. Some might even appear as the opposite sex. Some can be angry, some can be spiritual, some can be grieving. They can have different emotional states. Some people report, often it's quite common to have as much as 10. Occasionally people have over 100, which would be really hard to live with. What can also happen with DID is sometimes your mind takes you out. So I used to have cases where just as a quick reset, my mind would kind of take me out and bring me back. And it was just like I was here 1 minute and then back again the next. If my mind was really overwhelmed, it would be like an explosion in my mind and I was gone. I wasn't even aware I was gone. What I'm aware of is the actual coming back. And it's like an instantaneous ceasing to exist. It's very bizarre and a little bit unpleasant. So our mind has lots of ways of coping, lots of different coping mechanisms. So other symptoms of DID can be headaches, amnesia, self-sabotage, time loss, self-punishment, recklessness. Sometimes you can do things, you feel compelled to do things, even though it's not the real normal, your normal behavior. I felt compelled to do some very strange things that weren't my normal behavior. So it's not the real you. And my theory is that when you've been through some kind of trauma like this, there's often guilt and shame with it. And the guilt and shame will also actually drive you to behave in a way that's not really you, because that's what you feel you deserve or you're worthy of. So my theory is a lot of these different personalities are actually your wounds. They're like they're stuck emotional energy that is a wound. So your way through this, if you have this, obviously you may want to speak to a therapist about it. It may be that you can't afford a therapist or there's not one near you. So the way through this is love. You have to love each bit of this personality. So what you're going to do is, if a voice comes in, it doesn't matter what it's saying, you can just send it love. If there's an there's different emotional states you can use to help transmute the energy. So if a bit comes in and it sounds fearful, you send them love and joy. If a bit comes in and it sounds angry and resentful, you send it love and gratitude. If it sounds worried or grieving, you can send it love and peace. And if it sounds guilty, ashamed, you send love and forgiveness. And these will help transmute the energy of the wound, of that personality. And then what you're going to find eventually is that you're going to hear less and less of them. And when I first started doing this, I do have to admit, for the first few weeks, it was like every voice came in. All of a sudden, it was like, yay, I'm going to be heard. So it did actually get a little bit overwhelming at the beginning. So just be aware that that might happen. But then it did kind of sorted itself out, and slowly it's got much, much better. Don't berate yourself if you get cross with them at the beginning. There are times, you know, when you have all these voices trying to talk to you, at some point it's like, okay, this is too much, and you might end up shouting at them. Don't berate yourself, okay? Everyone has a limit, and just know you're doing your best. And you can always just say, oh look, I'm sorry, I lost my temper with you, sorry. Okay, so treat them as a wound, and a wound has to be healed with love. Okay, other ways you can help yourself. You can use love and golden light. So you can breathe in love and golden light and send it up to your mind and your ego. You can breathe in love and golden light and forgiveness and send it to all parts of your body. Okay, this is going to be transmuting the stuck emotional energy in your body. Sending the love and golden light to your mind and ego is going to be healing for them and comforting. Once a week, ask God to return all your fragmented and lost energy to you, cleansed and healed. Once a day, you can ask God to return your energy field back to its normal size. You know, if you feel your energy field is expanded, ask God to put it back to its normal size so you don't pick up entities and other people's stuff. If this is a problem for you, you might have to do it 3 or 4 times a day. It really doesn't matter. God doesn't mind how often you ask. It's not an issue. So just keep making sure your energy fields are back to the normal size. This is something you can also do if you're going somewhere that there's going to be lots of people. You can just do this as a matter of course. Every day you can ask God for the highest healing possible. Spend some time grounding and earthing. So grounding is basically imagining great big roots coming out from your feet or your tailbone, going deep into the earth and spreading for miles, spreading downwards for miles, spreading outwards for miles, okay? Grounding you into the earth. Earthing is different. Earthing is actually using the ions from the earth to transmute energy in your body. So what you actually have to do is spend at least 1/4 of an hour every day barefoot, or having a whole lot of your bare skin actually on the earth. Now it'll work on earth and sand and grass. It doesn't work on stones as well. So, it doesn't work on tarmac, that kind of thing. So you actually have to find some bare soil and spend some time earthing. There's actually a video, I think it's called The Earthing. I can't actually remember the name of it. There's a video on YouTube which actually talks about earthing. It's about an hour long. It gives you all the scientific data you need to know if you're interested in that too. Okay, so you can choose what you want to experience. So just keep saying, I choose to end the struggle and have ease. I choose clarity. I choose to be present and grounded. I choose self-love. I choose self-protection. Okay, just think of a list and just keep choosing those things. If you're going out, you can also ask God for protection. You can ask God to put a hedge of protection around you. You can also ask Archangel Michael to put a blue bubble of protection around you. Just keep visualizing that. You can also ask for the white and gold light to surround and protect you. Just wait for the wind to stop. And just, you can imagine white and gold light spiraling around you, or like seeing it as an egg around you. And this is just going to help you stop picking up other people's stuff and help you stop taking entities on too. If you have trouble with the focusing, like I said at the very beginning, you know, you're trying to read something and your mind starts wandering, if you can catch it right at the beginning, just tell yourself you are worthy of being able to focus, and then you'll find that you'll be able to focus really easily. Okay, so what we're going to do now very quickly is just a little healing technique just to bring in some positive beliefs to help you stay present and grounded in your body. It's called the Christ's Unwinding Technique. It's a technique I developed with Yeshua a few years ago. So all you have to do is sit quietly and you just ask the Christ light to come and help you. It doesn't matter what religion you are, the Christ light is actually source energy. It works for everybody. If you're an atheist, it doesn't matter, it will work for you. So you just sit and you ask for the Christ light to come in. And then you shut your eyes, and what you're going to do is imagine a sentence going across the inside of your forehead. Now, it doesn't matter if you can't spell very well, it's your intention that counts. What you're aiming for is to be able to read your sentence. If you have to imagine it at the beginning, that's okay, but just keep telling yourself it is safe for me to see my sentence. It is safe for me to see my sentences. And eventually you will be able to actually read them rather than just imagine they are there. Okay, so with your eyes shut, just imagine reading across the inside of your forehead, it is safe for me to be in my body. And then underneath, I am worthy and deserving of staying grounded and present. And then what you're going to do is see those sentences go up into the air and go into your mind, and they're going to be weaving backwards and forwards, left and right, up and down. They're just making new neural pathways in your mind. So just see if you can read them as they're going around. It is safe for me to be in my body. I am worthy and deserving of being grounded and present. And then what you're going to do is just see those sentences spiral down through your head, spiraling down through your throat, spiraling down through the center of your chest, seeing if you can read them as they spiral down through the middle of your body. It is safe for me to be in my body. I am worthy and deserving of being grounded and present. They're spiraling down through your belly, middle of your belly, down through the middle of your pelvis. And your sentences are going to come out from between the gap in your top of your legs. Now you're going to spiral down to the ground, between the gap in your legs, between your two legs. So see your sentences spiraling down the gap. It is safe for me to be in my body. I am worthy and deserving of being grounded and present. Then what you're going to do is read your sentences again with your eyes shut, so they're in the middle, inside of your forehead. It is safe for me to be in my body. I am worthy and deserving of being grounded and present. And this time you see your sentences are going to come out and they're going to start spiraling up your left hand. So seeing them spiral up your left hand and up your left arm, over your left elbow, up your upper arm. Then when they reach your left shoulder, you actually spiral them across to your right shoulder. Reading your sentences, it is safe for me to be in my body. And then when they get to your right shoulder, spiral them back to your left. I am worthy and deserving of being grounded and present. When they get back to your left shoulder, you spiral them down the left side of your body. It is safe for me to be in my body. I am worthy and deserving of being grounded and present. Spiraling down the left side of your left waist, and your left side of your pelvis. It is safe for me to be in my body. Down your left thigh. I am worthy and deserving of staying grounded and present. Over your left knee, down your left calf. Over your left foot. And then we're just going to repeat that process. So with your eyes shut, it is safe for me to be in my body. I am worthy and deserving of staying grounded and present. And this time you're going to see your sentences go up your right hand, over your right arm, over your right elbow, up your upper arm. When they reach your right shoulder, you spiral them over to your left one. It is safe for me to be in my body. When they reach your left shoulder, spiral them back across to your right. I am worthy and deserving of staying grounded and present. Then when they reach your right shoulder, spiral them down the right side of your body. It is safe for me to be in my body. Spiraling them down your right waist. I am worthy and deserving of staying grounded and present. Down the right side of your pelvis. Down your right thigh. It is safe for me to stay in my body. Over your right knee. Down your right calf. I am worthy and deserving of staying present and grounded. And over your right foot. Seeing your sentences again. It is safe for me to be in my body. I am worthy and deserving of staying grounded and present. And this time you're seeing your sentences going outwards. And you just ask for your sentences to be sent across all time and space, all dimensions and all realities. And then lastly, we just finish off by seeing the sentences go across your chest in big, beautiful white and gold letters. So going across your chest, it is safe for me to be in my body. I am worthy and deserving of staying grounded and present. And then we just thank the Christ light for coming in. And you can use that technique for anything. It will just help you bring in new beliefs, and it also helps the Christ light will actually follow your sentences, and it helps clear the stuck emotional energy from your body. So if you wanted to do one for I am worthy, for example, just make sure you say it in the positive and present tense. So I am worthy rather than I am not unworthy or I'm becoming worthy. It is I am worthy. Okay, so I hope you find that useful. It's worth trying to stay present and grounded in your body. Because this is where you actually came to have your human experience, and it's a bit harder to have it if you're not fully present and grounded. And it does actually feel much better when you are. Okay, so much love and many blessings from my heart to yours.